we go. The top dogs of North America barking down at a bull, Complexity. How do they battle against FaZe Clan, who have been heating up so quickly during this tournament?
The desk talked about Mist and how good he was in Turtle at the end of that, near the end of that series. You were talking about how he just leveled up mechanically
and
in the middle of that series.
He had to. That's why they won that series, Jorby.
But Complexity, they took care of business. They didn't give Crew any length, and Complexity, they were going to convince anybody that they could do it. They had to win that convincingly. Like from CRR, he's been a big part of their success.
Oh, absolutely. Talked about CRR, his impact, 1.22 goals per game, an average of 480 points per game, 4 shots per game. I mean, this man, a statistical beast, racking up points, racking up goals. But now is when he needs to activate it. Their biggest obstacle yet in the tournament.
Complexity in regionals, unsuccessful in beating FaZe anytime they matched up against them. But this Complexity on land, there's something a bit different on the energy.
Oh my goodness.
But FaZe also have a different energy about them. Now, Wayplug said he almost feels like they're irritated that they just can't get by 4th place. And this team, they're accelerating, quick shot. HHE takes away another.
You can sense it amongst all 3 members of FaZe Clan. And everyone here on this pitch is yet to win an RLCS LAN. All of them equally hungry. But so far it's been FaZe stuck in the half of Complexity, stealing boost, looking for demos, but AJG finally breaks that ice and gets down the other side.
Some trouble for FaZe. Getting downfield, first killer, will try again. Going for the bump, he loves going for those against Gen G, and they missed! He hits the double tap!
Are we even surprised at this point? Mist continues to be clutch. You give him backboard space, and he's gonna make you pay.
Great lead from first killer. Every time he's up on that air dribble, you think, okay, the bump, it's a threat. Wait, you can also hang on, you can do pretty much anything from there. But he's been continually selfless behind the ball.
Exactly, Jorby. That's the difference with first killer. This entire season, especially this split, the outlets, the passes, the options he's going for. It's not just solo plays. His main focus is to set up his teammates typical and Mist. And my goodness, have they been as accurate as can be. I mean, just alone against Gen G, all of them, 1 goal per game on average. Everybody tallying up 6 goals apiece against Gen G. And they are truly a 3-headed dragon. Typical wants to find a better 50-50, but it's back in the first killer's hands.
So far, Complexity are getting bopped. Razewolf gets kicked out, put the shot right into CRR. Typical setting up another. Need to work a little harder to get CRR off the ball. He's got no boost. HHE needs to buy time for the rest of his team.
Here we go.
He's gonna get that, but first killer falling back onto the ball. Complexity actually present here. Razewolf jumping with CRR. HHE keeping up the back end. Close to the corner in aggressive position here. That's CRR. He saw red, but couldn't quite make the contact.
First killer, he saved that flip. It looked risky, but he had it under control, composed on the goal line. But my concerns for Complexity are the transitions. I mean, we know that CRR is just a beast, and of course, Razewolf, CJ hyping him up, AJG has had some stellar shots of his own, but if they can't find transitions downfield, I don't know how much that's really gonna amount for, but so far, so good for CRR. Flip reset off the backboard. Again, first killer, good control.
Midfield, Complexity having trouble hanging on to it. HAG has to come in. CRR right behind him. Dunked onto the corner. He's gonna get a boost steal for his effort. Left side midfield as well, owned by Complexity. Nice move from HAG. Wow. CRR, no contact. HAG's got to square up, but first killer's gonna get away with it.
That looked like an opportunity that needed to be scored. HAG had worked hard to set up CRR, but he might have redemption by himself. Flip reset, stealing self-pass, but time is ticking, Jorby.
And still FaZe have the lead. First killer screening across. No boost, but he does just throw the ball to the opposite side. Complexity got to move across. That's more boost you waste. That's more time you're not moving down the field. Not a lot of time left either.
Nice demo.
If they get something here. TR wanted to pass. HAG was still rotating back.
You like the idea, but you're right. HAG too passive on that rotation. Might have needed some boost looking for the midfield, and RazeBull gets bumped out of it. CRR, good speed, but immediately give it a typical, and back down the other end. A double-edged sword to be this aggressive against FaZe.
Quick counterattack, but CRR can't fall down onto it. And another ball.
Not on target.
Low off the ramp, RazeBull
miss.
misses. Still 2 in front for FaZe. No time left for Complexity. CRR can't get to the ball.
He's wasting
First killer's
time.
on top of it. 1, a 2, no, not 3. And Complexity, maybe. RazeBull taken away. There's missed. And no, still on the ramp. CRR keeps it up. First killer will put it on the ground. FaZe Clan, 3 more to go.
Got that first goal, and it was smooth sailing since. Fantastic ideas out of Complexity. There were 2 or 3 moments where that ball would trickle out into the midfield, but the rotation, communication especially, not coming out, where just not on the same page, Jorby. You remember that pass coming across? Even AJG tried to set up CRR several times, but no execution, no follow-up.
FaZe are doing the same thing that they were doing in the Gen G series as well, but RazeBull has been getting the blunt end of their octanes. Just
he's been getting taken out.
Ran into, bumped off the play, and if you're taking out your star bull, you might have some issues. But CRR, a couple of chances, he did have some space, but they just couldn't get anything going. Like you said, a broken opportunity or 2 as well on communication.
Absolutely.
But still, really close chances for Complexity.
Yeah, and 100%. This does not feel like the peak Complexity that we're used to seeing, especially throughout that group stage, and of course up against Crew. So the polish, I think we're still waiting to see that out of Complexity. Once they get on the same page, they can be one of the deadliest teams in this tournament, but that's what's needed to take down FaZe Clan. 1 goal is what separated them, and like I said, smooth sailing. FaZe Clan didn't have to move an inch after that.
And FaZe have played solid on defense all day so far. In game 1, no different. Now in Forbidden Temple, Complexity gonna have to pull a new trick out of the bag. So another quick save for RazeBull. CRR hoping to chase, but even on that one, you see a lot of boost being used just to reposition, and everyone's got to pull off, grab some canisters. FaZe taking control.
And that's RazeBull getting demoed out of the play. It seems like he has been targeted for what feels like the entire first part of this series. He can't even stay on the pitch.
And understand taking him out, seeing some of the stuff he's been hitting this tournament.
Well, and it's also the assisting. I mean, he's been such a big playmaker for this team. He's the one setting up CRR, and speaking of setting up, Typical was looking for a good pass across.
Defense not looking as structured for Complexity as we saw earlier today, or even earlier in the tournament. They dived back a couple of times now in the first minute. Typical. Ball gets away from him. Complexity starting to stabilize here. Got the midfield boost. A free touch for RazeBull, but AJG and CRR having to get back after the missed 50.
And it feels like there's always a safety net in FaZe Clan. CRR does take out first killer, who has been that safety net. One player might not get a challenge like this from Typical. It does go back to RazeBull. But of course, as always, there's a player to keep challenging, and eventually you'll get first killer in the back line. It's like Mist and Typical throw themselves forward to give first killer that space to carry out.
Another high ball, straight down, and RazeBull rushed the touch. FaZe, that's a sneaky double tap from Typical. And a demo from AJG opens up some space. First killer closes the gap, and it doesn't even matter. You get the demo to try to push FaZe off on offense, and you still lose the touch.
Great recognition, understanding your teammate got taken out the play. And you keep it pushing. CRR, he's pushing for the first goal, and he gets it.
Of course, CRR, performing all tournament, gets a great first touch here around first killer. First killer trying to read that, trying to meet CRR on his catch, but he literally weaved his way around him.
And that's a really rough rotation from Typical. I think he was the 3rd man back, should have gone to net. Instead, he put himself in the same exact spot as the 2nd man of FaZe. And CRR weaving through every player to put them on the board and start things off hot.
Here he comes again, CRR, a quick reset. Complexity starts to build pressure. RazeBull off the side wall. Lets it drop. Typical is a little awkward, but no immediate follow-up from Complexity. He's starting to get back to the challenges. First killer with control. Off the ceiling. 25 as he left. He got bumped out of the way. RazeBull misses. That's a couple of small misses for Complexity. Don't get burned. You gotta be careful. FaZe get hot.
Their offense has certainly stabilized, but now that's 2 players double jumping for the same ball. First killer also committed, as he does get a bump on RazeBull, who's still getting bullied in this series. carrying out the offense. First killer flying high off the backboard. Good speed, but CRR able to clear it out. FaZe Clan keep possession. Are still waiting for that first.
Another ball here for RazeBull. Doesn't have a lot in the tank, just trying to feed it out to AJG. Typical had it read nicely, was already in the air. FaZe just keeping control of this ball, keeping control of the game, but they have to score. Complexity got that goal from CRR, the breakaway. Now he has another chance. Wants the bump, going for the drill. One he missed, but a free ball for AJG. He has to put it out to the corner. Gets the 50. A little awkward against first killer. RazeBull across. AJG sat on missed. Missed, squirreled his way out.
First killer almost got that pre-jump. And in particular, FaZe Clan, I think Typical has been in so many uncomfortable situations. He was the main contributor to that mistake previously, and also just saw him not get the best mechanical touch. Let's see if that changes and if any of that's going to bleed into the rest of the final minute.
Miz just trying to play fast across. Maybe he gets a demo as he pushes the ball out. Maybe it pops back out, but Complexity, they thwart FaZe again. Despite them holding so much pressure, quick pass, denied again. CRR gets in the way, but free ball for first killer. As he weaves his way around, he gets bumped off the ball again. CRR past AJG, rips it, and taken away.
And you can see with that clear, Complexity are just trying to run the clock out. Booming clears, big touches, waste the time out, and take the first win against FaZe.
Another 50 in front. Complexity have held firm for now, and that's fine. It only takes one mistake, though, to make this one a tie game. CRR going for another bump. He's got a RazeBull shot denied by Typical. Going back quick the other way. HAG trying to slow it down. FaZe swarm in the corner, but CRR's got full control. Now in front of it, he's been conducting this game
Final 10.
And first killer trying to keep them alive. One more. Leaves
he got the ball.
Oh, he did it again!
5 on the clock. Better late than never. And first killer flip reset bump on RazeBull. And we've got ourselves a ball game.
Straight up dive bombed onto RazeBull. He has been targeted.
It's always RazeBull.
They just
he's getting blasted
like
out
a
here.
magnet. Now another
they
one.
Don't do it again.
On the kickoff.
They don't do it again.
A high ball, it falls straight down. RazeBull and FaZe will let it drop for overtime.
I mean, if you're CRR and AJG, you just give all the armor to RazeBull at this point. He's the only one getting demoed, the only one getting bumped. You've got to keep that man alive.
Unfortunately for RazeBull, there's no armor power-ups, so CRR not able to get that ball away. And that was so big for FaZe too, because you're building up all that pressure in the back half of the game.
Yeah.
The fact that you come away with that goal means that momentum, all that momentum you've built, you can carry it into this overtime.
It should, but Complexity half looks quite polished.
Nice ball.
CRR couldn't get the follow-up, so instead takes out the player face. That would have been an absurd angle. Forgot the protractor and AJG in the corner. No setups yet, things stabilizing in the midfield.
CRR looks so threatening every time he launches out from midfield. His car control has been excellent in the series so far. Their hard kick came hard around his corner now, almost finding the transition pass. Complexity getting set up. AJG, some time to think as he moves his way towards RazeBull. The shot, left side save, pitched off the post by Mist, and Typical gets the follow.
Nick Costello still in the net.
He missed!
He misses the flip. He thought he had a chance. He thought he could creep out.
AJG, the thief in the night, punches it in reverse and absolutely bamboozles Typical.
And it's not even a shot. It bounced off a member of FaZe Clan, more or less. A poor 50-50, and I don't even think you can blame Mist too much for reading that play and assuming it's going to go to the sidewall.
But for AJG, just be like, wait, that ball's coming right towards me.
Yeah.
I'm just going to back up.
Backflip.
And it's Typical.
Put it in reverse.
Towards it, and he sees him back, and then he's thinking maybe he can neutralize the 50 right there. But AJG just dodges right over his Octane into the net.
And that's got to prove to Complexity that there are holes in, of course, this FaZe Clan defense.
CRR keeping up that 450 plus score per game that he has been amassing all tournament long, and despite them constantly trying to take RazeBull out of the play, and despite maybe like a key whip or two in some tight situations on defense, Complexity were able to hang on despite FaZe responding.
Well, and they really cleaned up on these counterattacks. I didn't see any passes go unanswered for Complexity, rotations, the timing. I mean, even in the last series that we casted Jorby, you could see how important the timing is for Gen G, especially up against FaZe Clan. If your rotations are a second or two off, it's over for you. You're gonna be missing opportunities. The accuracy will, of course, start falling short. And that was not the case for Complexity.
Well, the last semifinal saw K-Corp run out to a quick 3-game victory until Liquid tried to fight back, but this one already back and forth. And Complexity respond to FaZe now in game 3. What do FaZe have in store for Complexity?
Right now, I'm worried for RazeBull. I think he's been charging up a lot of the energy from getting demoed, getting bullied. I think he's gonna come out and hit us with some spectacular shots, and I'm all here for it.
AJG picking up demos in the back line of FaZe. CRR trying to get bullied off the midfield boost, but he's the one who won it. Now pass to RazeBull, denied. Oh, and missed, had to let it go. The ball gets right back to him. Nice little wave dash pop, but cut from AJG there, sitting in front of Typical. It wasn't successful that time. You like the idea.
Yeah.
But Typical doing a great job locking Complexity in.
The demo's not gonna be too impactful, but will open up things for Mist, who opts out for a slower approach. He's letting his teammates get boost. Hopefully, in this moment, they can recover. Of course, they get a 50-50 in front of the net. We know how dangerous those can be for the last overtime.
Complexity hanging on to this ball, though. RazeBull gonna stay downfield. CRR has control. They did force FaZe out of the net, but FaZe had control. No sweat off there, Octane or Fennec, whatever they prefer. CRR launches towards, and the back wall is clean for FaZe.
They don't ever have players downfield. I think that last game might have shocked them a bit. Confidence depleted, and now they're getting bumped, and that's also a pool bump, a team bump from FaZe Clan. He got bumped into his other play. If you pay attention right now, Typical got hit all the way into Mist. He's trying to recover, and RazeBull turns around, sees a wide open goal, and takes it.
I think there was like a hack in the code on the physics there. I mean, I didn't even think RazeBull was going that fast on Typical. He went flying. He dodged forward right into his.
Calculated from Complexity.
Excellent job from RazeBull, dishing back some of that FaZe have been giving him for the first 2 games.
And to be honest with you, that's the best situation. That has got to make FaZe Clan uncomfortable. They're hitting each other. It's frustrating. Roldiz certainly has a lot of work to do. Make sure FaZe Clan aren't getting in their own heads, aren't going to start stepping over each other in rotation. You've got to watch out for CRR. He's hunting. First killer forced to get saves. FaZe Clan, their backs are against the wall.
CRR's turned his target painter on, determined to take FaZe off the field. Missed this time. Gets a demo.
Just and another big clear, though.
Field clear.
Nobody's downfield. They can't even get up.
Here they go. A chance for Typical. Reset. A slow one.
Wow.
And he gets dunked.
Wow.
AJG does. Missed. Ties it up.
It's one transition. First killer boomed it all the way down to Complexity, who gave it right back. And then RazeBull again on the backboard. He's getting edged out. He's getting punched in the face, Jorby.
At this point, I just think that it's just unfortunate for him. He's just always in the way. When FaZe need to score a goal or they need to get possession, it just always happens to be RazeBull in that second man spot that they go for.
That was oh my goodness. I was about to say the only shot for FaZe Clan, but they just put on 3 shots there. And they certainly starting to apply pressure. We'll see what Complexity have to offer now.
A little bit of space now. It's RazeBull trying to keep it close across. CRR and AJG back towards the midfield. Full tank of boost for CRR. Leaves over one. Wants to dunk on another. Push back over to the corner. AJG coming quickly to respond. He's got it. CRR on the backside. No boost spawns for him. Goes up later. RazeBull trying to crash the box. CRR has to flip back quickly. Complexity can't get anything set up on the orange.
This definitely feels much more defensive from FaZe Clan. 5 shots. And now they're moving forward, and it feels so weird to say this, but First Killer has 0 shots in this game, Jorby.
Mist has a couple, though, and he's had a lot of close angle double chances. These times, watch out for him. Here comes AJG. Trying for the pump. Plucking FaZe off the backboard. Complexity, this is a tough setup. Even when you're trying to rotate, FaZe is right there now. Quick passage, not denied. CRR gets there, RazeBull on the far side. AJG's looking, he's found him, but it's the far side, not close enough. AJG on the 50, RazeBull's there, high ball, strike down, shot,
Bushy saved. Oh, first killer in and out of the net, but you also had a second defender and missed. 2 versus 1, and the shot not accurate enough, but Complexity continue to hammer the net of FaZe Clan, who are also playing this counterattack strategy. They don't put on too much pressure, but these clears are as deadly as ever.
Complexity, a soft touch into the corner, first killer, unsuccessful in block, actually, almost successful in blocking them out. Complexity do get out. First killer waited to see who was going to go first. He has so much space that he knew he didn't have to jump first. But wait, AJG leaves it. Oh, the ball strikes!
RazeBull coming alive. He's not getting bumped, not getting demoed, and he can finally come forward for a shot himself.
Genius touch from AJG as well.
Absolutely.
Pulling the defender out away from where he could touch it, right into RazeBull.
And that initial shot could have, or that, excuse me, that pass could have easily been a shot, but wants to set it up even better for his teammate RazeBull. He's most likely already forgot about all the aggression he's had to deal with.
Still able to get that goal. Now AJG, 9 boost as he gets the reset. Great touch from Mist. High ball, no one can get the rebound from Complexity. FaZe last try though to get downfield. CRR stays underneath it, and Complexity has taken the lead. 2 more, Turtle.
And this is scary. I think a lot of people would have put their money on FaZe Clan, especially with how great they looked against Gen G. But Complexity are no joke, Jorby, forcing FaZe Clan to play the counterattack strategy. I think most of the time, I only saw massive clears out of FaZe Clan, couldn't even push somebody forward, hoping to just pull in and draw Complexity too far forward, but they held composure. They didn't overextend, and we do actually see a timeout for FaZe.
Right now, it's a battle of who can play better off the ball. Like, between, we've seen CRR really take demos, center up in that last game, but not just him, all of Complexity trying to respond. I mean, FaZe are the ones who set the tone with that physicality, right? With bumping RazeBull out of the way, FaZe Clan, their timeout, start thinking about things, because even with those bumps, they were just unsuccessful in mounting that pressure and actually scoring.
And we only got 1 shot from first killer, 216 on the scoreboard. There was a game against Gen G where that man had 1,000 points, and he is getting denied. If there's one player that you want to send to the sidelines and edge him out of the game, deny the opportunities, it's first killer.
And I think these first 3 games are proof that this Complexity on LAN is different than the one that has played online. But the team that couldn't beat FaZe before, they've never looked like this against FaZe. CRR is locked in. RazeBull, despite getting harassed, also locked in. And AJG, T-Bates was talking about it in the pregame. He's doing the dirty work. He's the one off the ball, and he sometimes comes up with those awkward touches. Makes you really think about it, and he's been doing that. He's been doing that dirty work. Not necessarily in the physical game, but in the challenge game. And you know, you just need a quick massage from your coach.
A little back massage.
Yeah.
Goes a long way on
Boosting it
the
up.
stage. That's right, and I think this really is coming down to a mental game. FaZe Clan don't look confident out there. First killer, not as aggressive. Getting a bit hesitant with some touches. Missed.
I've liked what I've seen from Mist. I think he's had a pretty good game so far. I think the Complexity are outboxing them, really. I don't, like, first killer hasn't had a lot of space. He's tried to trap the ball away from them. He's tried to create opportunities.
Has he?
I think
I've just seen some big
he's tried to trap the ball in the
clears
corner. He's trying to get it back to Mist. And yeah, they have kicked the ball away a couple of times. You're absolutely right. But I do think that you've seen them try on offense to get that trap, for him to be first killer. Complexity though, Turtle, 1 away here.
1 away.
But putting it on match point, can they do it?
And they want to permanently stamp the title of 4th clan. On the other side, might be possible, but they've still got 2 more games to go.
Good crash there. AJG up for it after CRR's aggressive challenge. RazeBull with a full tank, waiting for reciprocal. First killer, next up. Cut off by RazeBull. But FaZe, this is a chance for them to get set up. Fake challenge on AJG, gives Mist the ball, and RazeBull will pull off.
Already good looks from FaZe Clan. CRR, goodbye. And we'll take the midfield pressure, but I guess it's not gonna work out if Mist can say something else. A flip reset, and it's all by himself.
It's mechanical mist. He's shown up to play. A demo underneath opens some space. AJG, all he can do is watch and he flips off. And Mist gets a freebie.
So much space, so much time. With that name, that player behind the ball, it's almost a guaranteed goal.
FaZe finally getting a lead. Well, it's been multiple games for them. But RazeBull looking to tie it up quick. It's a great catch from First Killer, getting it back out to midfield.
Flip your step forward too. This is a good sign. If you're a fan of a fan of FaZe Clan. You want to see First getting involved as that aggressor. He doesn't always have to throw himself forward, but you want him feeling comfortable and in position. Typical has been quiet, but not anymore. We see his name pop up.
Now first, it's an AJG error, and this time, it's just a little too aggressive from RazeBull. There was no clear path on what was going to happen to that ball. AJG still recovering in the corner. You can't position like that if you're RazeBull and go for that ball.
And that trend of flipping the script, reversing the results and the patterns after a timeout continues. At least it has in the first minute and a half. FaZe Clan looked like a different team, and with First Killer behind the ball, almost took out AJG. Everything is starting to work together. All the pieces of the puzzle finishing up.
High ball for FaZe. First Killer couldn't quite grab the read. A chance here for Complexity to break downfield. CRR got bumped out of the rotation. Straight back in, and just a hard challenge. Nothing he could grab. Demo to open up space for FaZe. It on the far side. RazeBull comes back around. Complexity starting to stabilize again. Where's the offense?
I really think you were right with that point earlier about how it's an off-the-ball game, Jorby. Which team can make a bigger impact with the demos, with the boost grabs, even those pennies. So impactful. First Killer chain dashing on the sidewall. CR gets past 2, maybe even 3. What a maneuver down the other side. Couldn't set up a shot, but here comes RazeBull. Still not powerful enough.
Transition for First Killer. Here he comes. One reset. CRR. That's a perfect catch and pop. Nobody from FaZe could go. And now he flicks it over one. CRR wants the pump. Gonna get it. He's been so deadly as first man on these pushes. It's so much value, not just on the challenge, but also on the bumps. CRR just trying to find a way to get Complexity their first goal.
He looks so comfortable against Crew. I mean, there was all the space in the world for him to run around laps in the offensive half.
Maybe for First Killer, he's been going for that more often than anything else when he's behind the ball. Just leaving it, maybe it's gonna be a pass, maybe it's gonna be an air dribble bump he goes for, but that specific setup has been something he's been leaning on in these last 2 series.
If you remember how this series started out, FaZe Clan were happy to get their first goal and then cruise for the rest of the game, the rest of the few minutes that we had. CRR off the defender and in.
And it's AJG activating drill mode on the pop-up here. Gets the pop-up real close. CRR jumps but so far back, and they still got a touch on the ball. AJG made sure they wouldn't get it.
And you love that play because he didn't immediately go for the demo. He kind of hovered behind the ball. And FaZe Clan have no choice but to respect a shot that he could potentially take. But it ends up being an illusion, and RazeBull trying to make an illusion out of that flip reset.
There's too much drop. As soon as he caught it, now he goes up the side wall. He just got burned there. It's fine though. CRR has him covered. RazeBull denied on the clear. Complexity looking for that tying goal. Only 2 boosts for RazeBull, but he's going downfield. He's setting up the pass. CRR, the soft touch. He's got 12, but not able to get a second touch, and a pinch out for FaZe.
But we're back to boomer ball. FaZe Clan. Big hits down the other side. Can't control the field. And it seems like they just keep giving it back to Complexity to knock at the door, to throw shots on target, and hope a mistake comes out. Another big clear from Cynical, but this time it catches 2 players out. The defense scrambling from Complexity.
FaZe gonna keep it up. First Killer up in the temperature in the blue half. RazeBull trying to push Typical off his line. Typical did have to hesitate. HAG follows him perfectly. Time running out here for CRR. Wants the pass, but that was cut off immediately. Really before it ever happened. Now RazeBull goes around 1. RazeBull taken away by First Killer. Complexity, no. They have to press here. First Killer behind the ball, stuffed. And a nice little swipe ball. RazeBull, here he comes. CRR trying to bump. Big flick, taken away.
FaZe Clan just wants to hold on. They have the lead.
Fake.
They don't need to do anything else. Just get the saves on the goal line.
CRR,
7 to go.
Deleted typical. Another pop. Last chance for complexity.
CRR.
In front was taken away by typical. One more chance. AJG, light touch, not gonna get it done. We got a tie match.
Tied up series. FaZe Clan came out those gates on fire and then pulled it back. Said, okay, we got 2 goals. We don't need to overextend. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's keep the composure. And that's exactly what they did, but they somehow allowed complexity to get back in there. That wasn't as confident as I think FaZe Clan would like.
I think for complexity, they had the right idea there, but this time they weren't really connecting on demos. FaZe were able to avoid them. It's the same game plan for them. I don't think they tried to do much differently. RazeBull's certainly looking a lot more comfortable. And AJG, I think they're playing a solid game. I just think FaZe really outplayed them in that one.
It's just...
Well, I mean, AJG did have the back foot at the start, so maybe you can point out that mistake, but for the rest of the game, I mean, it wasn't that bad.
I think it's just holding the consistency for complexity. Definitely peaking at certain moments and getting the first goal. CRR had good opportunities, but not able to hold on to that high level performance all throughout the game. I saw several double commits on the goal line. FaZe Clan, of course, had to work for those 2 goals, but the fact that they're able to hit the brakes, ease off a little bit, doesn't give the best sign for complexity, but there's still plenty more games to go.
The timeout works in FaZe's favor. And now complexity and FaZe both vying for a match point on Wasteland Night. It's typical, nice little bounce on the 50. Complexity dealt with a lot of FaZe pressure. More is coming, first killer again and again. Fakes the air dribble, goes for the bump instead, not successful this time.
We'll see how that previous game enhances the confidence of FaZe Clan. Already they look to be a different team, adding on to the consistency. They got the defense under control, and now they're able to excel on offense.
RazeBull nowhere to be found, and AJG was the one to follow up CRR, but he was playing so far on the right side of the ball.
Right.
The 50 just is completely neutral. He doesn't have enough boost to chase it down.
When it's this early game from complexity, mistakes always come out. FaZe Clan capitalized, and you start to wonder, I mean, can they just sit back and hold on to this lead that complexity can never seem to regain?
Hard touch from CRR, trying to find RazeBull. AJG will buy time for them to get back.
What did he do?
Nothing there, takes it away. Missed air dribble on the first killer. FaZe trying to get this one figured out as complexity get out of defense. Maybe they get downfield. CRR wants the 50, he's got it. Lets it land for AJG. Up high again for CRR. Ball in front of the box, FaZe. Just a slight bit of pressure, but they handle business.
A wonderful job to take the corner boost from FaZe. Forces all of them on the back line. You'll look at, this is so defensive from FaZe. There was 2 players on the backboard. Typical just has a massive clear down the other side. Complexity, if you can get your counterattacks under control, I think this is your game to win. All this space is yours to take.
CRR has a little bit of it up the ceiling.
There it is.
RazeBull. Beautiful connection.
Waiting for it all game long. CRR, the connection to the other side of the pitch, and a hammer into the back of the net.
We wanted to see them respond. FaZe do not go up 2 this time. Great pass. CRR continues to deliver for this team. What an addition he has been. His story has been incredible in RLCS, where he's been and now where he is.
Not the best touch.
He's gonna get downfield. Ooh, tried to be slick across, but not much he could do with 0 boost.
I like the idea. Wanted to create some chaos with a pinch. CRR, he's always behind the ball. What more
Goes again.
can he give to complexity? They even the odds. Now they just want to take the lead for the first time in this game.
Taken out. AJG has to wait. Dunk. It's not happened, but first killer gets there. No one able to pull complexity off their line just yet. In their attempted 50 taken away. AJG's Squeezes it back over to FaZe's corner.
And look at what First Killer does off the sidewall. This one, a booming clear actually to his own teammates, and that's the first connection we've seen in quite some time. Love to see FaZe Clan build on that, keep finding each other. The vision needs to be improved.
Raze will bounce on the ramp, gonna handle this one, and gets the 50. Little wave dash landing on the wall, some pressure, maybe an opening for Complexity coming soon, and a less physical game 5. As right there on that line, Complexity usually looking for a bump or a demo, but everyone trying to get back, hold on to the midfield. There's a demo to open it up. Racebull trying to cut Typical's attack out. First Killer gets another clear.
And you want them to get more physical. Ask and you shall receive. Tensions are high. 1:42 to go. Still a tied-up game. This is a pass in front. What a save! First Killer from the right side gets the block.
Racebull had to be quick with it. It was right into First Killer. Now HAG, touch up. First Killer gets there with no boost. Other 50 just kind of squeezes out underneath FaZe. Forced back, missed, has to buy time, and he does so, giving Typical a chance out. Oh, Racebull on the reset. He dropped it! Oh, Toro Mechanical!
You mess with the bull, and you get the horns. Flip reset, past the defenders, 2 of them flying, and none of them getting a touch. FaZe Clan, what are you gonna do?
You were waiting for Racebull to get his chance at it. Big solo effort on the reset. He had some help in front of him, but Racebull puts it on the backside. Complexity in position to take this to match point. CRR on the wave dash, got another 50. Racebull sweeps in. Racebull, here he goes. He faked it. Strikes again!
CRR sets him up with the 50, and it's his for the taking. First Killer flies above the ball, and Racebull goes below.
He shows up twice. And FaZe. Now they gotta respond, and they don't got a lot of time to do it. First Killer, he's over 1, he wants the bump. He missed him. 2 committed for Complexity. Like, it felt like I had to send 2 there.
Baseball.
Here he comes again. Does he end this on Wasteland Night? No, FaZe.
Here we go, the connection.
Quietly one.
Double tap.
He missed it. And one more for miss. Back to First Killer, cut off again. FaZe, desperate for another goal here. First Killer, swinging across. Typical on the wing. Denied by HAG. All of Complexity were ready for it.
But it feels too late to now send players of FaZe Clan down the other side. You have to do this the entire game. They've been passive. Several moments, FaZe Clan, 2 players back, 1 forward. Nobody wants to move up as a unit. And as a result, 13 seconds remain. You're trailing by 2, and now you might be facing a Complexity on match point.
No more time left for FaZe. And that was the last pass that would have gave him a chance. Complexity, 1 game away. There has never been any player who came from the South American region, whether at the at any RLCS land, either representing South America or being an NA but being from South America, no one has made it to a grand final from that region.
Nobody.
Racebull and HAG just may be the first.
Trying to make RLCS history, South American history. The South American roots are strong with this team.
And what a story for these 2, too. When you moved to North America last, like 2 seasons ago, I mean, it feels like forever ago at this point, they make the 2021 Fall Major, and then they disappear for an entire year.
They vanish. When the world needed them most, they vanished.
Then they picked up CRR, and the Bull attacked. And look at them now.
And boy, oh boy, do they look clean. But it's not over yet, Jorby.
It's not over.
I'm sick and tired of you talking like it's already over. I know you like South America, Jorby, I get it. But this series isn't over.
I like FaZe 2.
You like FaZe 2.
I like them both.
You know who's behind FaZe? Roldiz. You know what happened after they took a timeout and Roldiz was talking in their ears? They took the game win, okay?
Well, FaZe
they can certainly adapt.
They got no timeouts left. Neo Tokyo, the storied field. What happens here? Do we go to Champions Field? FaZe Clan certainly thinks so. Typical scores.
Getting off on the right foot. It's what's needed. It's what's necessary for FaZe Clan. And First Killer's behind the ball. Gets a demo. A second follow-up, too, from Sip. 11 seconds in, and this is the response that I expected to see.
You wanted FaZe to get more aggressive. You want them to be really more aggressive all of the time. First killer certainly got aggressive there. So interesting touch there from RazeBull. Complexity, though, they responded last time FaZe scored first.
Oh, look at first killer on that challenge. Okay, if that doesn't speak confidence and frustration, I don't know what does. He's up early. He's getting in the faces of Complexity. They've got to be more aggressive.
Oh, that one stayed. First killer diving in front of that. AJG narrowly missing that touch, but RazeBull coming to help him out. Now first killer is typical in front. Nice little pass, but the chip doesn't matter. CRR gonna get through. AJG's demo also helping him out. And Complexity slowly moves towards the midfield line.
Oh,
RazeBull fakes him out on the touch. Now he's around the corner and got the touch over to AJG.
RazeBull, he's in front of the net, has a shot. It's saved, and another follow-up from first killer. Team effort. FaZe Clan, how do they survive that?
He's been such a threat these last few games. Getting in the way, getting these touches. Here's a pass, the shot denied. First killer now, no boost. What can he do?
Typical
trying to harass him. Oh, first killer made the most of it. Doesn't matter. Quick transition. AJG. Oh, it's saved.
Goal line champions right now. FaZe Clan look to be peaking on the defensive side. Typical. Every time he takes that corner boost, he's getting demoed. Complexity, good at relieving the pressure, but not good at counterattacks in this game.
Oh, RazeBull, a little bouncer missed. Has to turn back. Got the 50 out to the corner. Complexity. Couple of nice shots, but FaZe's defense, difference maker in the first 2 minutes. First killer. Well, that was a nice job from CRR using his neutral hop just to give him more of that speed over the side, landing on the ball. Not those little things from CRR. Typical though, no boost.
But the little things from FaZe Clan as well, pushing past the first offender from Complexity. Usually they're getting stuffed, they're getting destroyed on the 50-50s, but this has been a good response, good retaliation. They got that first goal, and they're not holding back. FaZe Clan always, in this series, like to get that first one, then suppress a lot of their rage, a lot of their momentum. They haven't held anything away from Complexity's defense, and they're giving it all they have.
Oh, first killer shot denied by RazeBull. FaZe, with the way their defense has been looking in Game 6, 2 feels like pretty good insurance. Can't seem to buy it. Another one here for Typical. It's a decent catch, but RazeBull waits on the wall. Forces it down. RazeBull now racing out to midfield. He sees the space. He sees AJG, but he also got harassed and was forced to give up the ball.
And speaking of AJG, I keep seeing him take out a player who's lurking in his half. FaZe Clan want to play off the ball, but AJG doesn't want any part of it. Always getting a demo, and now he's getting a fake for RazeBull. But no horns come out. First killer. Nice flick to the corner. This could bode well for FaZe. They want security, a goal, some kind of insurance to guarantee a Game 7.
Even if they don't get it, the longer they stay in the blue, the more time's off the clock. AJG gonna force them out. Typical getting bumped by the Bull. Now the Bull takes the ball, looking for the goal. He takes missed out as well, but it's first killer behind the ball. He's being harassed. AJG has just given CRR a way in. Here he goes, but it's taken away. FaZe will not relent on defense. They get the touch out to the corner. Complexity are forced to retreat.
Typical's up in the air. Flip reset. This could be the second one, but denied. RazeBull keeps it within 1. It's still match point. It's only 1 goal. Can Complexity get back?
CRR, he had a demo from AJG. Oh, the Bull jumped. Full risk. Denied twice by first killer. He's got no boost. He needs help. It's missed up next. Hard ball downfield. More time off the clock, but it's tight for FaZe. CRR, here he comes. Going down.
He got the bump.
First killer's there. He will not let it happen. RazeBull back up again, and FaZe still hanging on.
Counterattacks have to be lethal for Complexity. 36 seconds remaining. Do we get the Game 7?
Typical slowing it down, but Complexity starting to accelerate here. Oh, RazeBull turning on that. A little awkward. Nothing really developing here. Missed. Pulls it up. Missed. Does he take it himself? Forces the ball up in front of the box.
Got boost too.
No time left here for Complexity. CRR, last try on the 50. Back to RazeBull. RazeBull forced out. FaZe, immaculate defense, but they need one more. They get it, and that's it, Turtle.
It's gonna fall. It's gonna fall.
We are going to Champions Field.
We're going the distance. Razebull tried his best. CRR was forward, wanting to receive as many clears as possible. AJG couldn't set him up. The opportunities were there, but FaZe Clan's defense just one step ahead every single time. And now the momentum shifts to the other side, the red side. And my goodness,
Five demos.
I'm just happy we get to see this Game 7. I mean, this Mobile 1 high-performance replay, I'm looking at it. It's been tight, but it's been FaZe Clan who, they got the first goal, and I think the difference in this one was they didn't just hold back on the defense. There was so much prioritization towards that backboard. I kept seeing every time so many players out of FaZe Clan rotating to the backboard to the point where we'd get 2 players there every time. Never know when to go for a challenge. It was all over the place. This was more organized. They had aggression, and they were there to meet them in the midfield.
It's been a long, long journey. Only one game separates these 2 teams from a date with Carmine Court in the grand finals. World Champions Field. 5 minutes decides who goes.
Will it be Complexity? With origins from South America, they moved to NA, and they're proving why. FaZe Clan, they're trying to break the curse of top 4, and both of these teams are 1 game away.
Complexity do it. Can they finally beat FaZe Clan? Can they get their very first grand final appearance? Here comes Razebull, trying to set it up now for AJG. CRR, sit back as well. Going up high here, back across. AJG, touchdown, Complexity back on defense.
What is the approach from FaZe Clan? They were so good off the ball. In the final 2 minutes of the last game, I saw Mist take boost constantly, rotating out between him and Typical as to who's getting demos. First Clan held them down on the goal line. But better striking could be the end of them if you give Complexity even an inch. Of course, they're gonna take a mile.
Razebull. Ball comes right to him. Complexity getting stuffed on every touch right now. It's happening to him in game 6. Now downfield, the first shot for them denied. Starting to kick it up, CRR, pass in front. Kicked out by Typical, Razebull. Cuts it right back, AJG, next up. Pass down, Razebull gets the 50. Next up has gotta be CRR, but he's got 12 boost. He only picked up 1 pad. He couldn't go.
And you look in the top left corner, Razebull also doesn't have too much boost, but he's there anyway. No boost, no problem. The accuracy plaguing him. CRR, he wants a flip reset, but First Killer, he's seen that way too many times.
Well, First Killer, flipping off on that play. Maybe thought he could get a dunk. We'll take the boost instead. Now Razebull going forward, wants to stop.
He got a
First
bump.
Killer, he did, but where he still gets to the ball, had to use a lot more boost than he probably wanted to.
Typical flip reset, he wanted a piece of AJG. It's getting more and more physical as Game 7 unwinds. Time is running out. And yet, we are scoreless on Champions Field.
Oh, dangerous. FaZe, they saw Razebull's the only guy back, and if they could connect on the pass, surely they could get the goal. Not quite. Complexity's defense matching FaZe's. CRR jumping over the attempted bumps. Typical getting kicked out of the way. Now Razebull, as FaZe try to prevent him moving. Hard to do.
Oh, and it's getting scrappy, Jorby.
It is.
Every opportunity for a bump these players are going for. If you can take boost, they're grabbing it. If you can get a bump, if you can get a piece of any player, they're yours. It's Typical. He wanted the 1v3.
FaZe starting to heat up again. First Killer coming around the corner, but taken away again by Razebull. Let's quiet down for a moment. Now a loose ball for CRR. Gets back to the top.
Oh, quick counterattack.
And there it is! First Killer scores!
The lights are on, but nobody's home. Wide open, Complexity, fall forward and leave the net open.
Everybody committed, and that touch, it bounced initially off the challenge, straight out off to a FaZe car, right into First Killer. He saw the line, he fired it. A big goal for FaZe.
This has been such a defensive game for FaZe Clan. Complexity have to get some kind of counterattack. They're looking for bumps, they're looking for boost steals. It's not enough. to shake FaZe Clan. They want to break the curse. They want to break through top 4. And they're 90 seconds away from it.
Another demo for Complexity. Will FaZe stop them again? They got stuffed. CRR up high. 1 drops it. A loose ball for a second, but first killer's gonna get there. Raze will try to read him. AJG's got some space, but no boost. Trying to make the most of it, and it gets cleared out. Downfield, the catch. Dangerous for CRR, but he gets it out.
Dangerous indeed. You're in game 7, catching it on the goal line. My goodness, ice in their veins.
They feel like they need that space. They don't want to hit it right back into him. You might get dunked, then it's 2-0. Then good luck coming back.
You simply can't, Jorby. And now all 3 of them are stagnant in a line. FaZe Clan are happy to let the clock run down. 45 to go. And Complexity still scoreless.
There it is, typical!
Insurance granted for FaZe Clan. Raze pull up in the air, no touch, typical punishing, and FaZe Clan paving the way to the grand.
41 seconds now separate FaZe from the grand finals. Complexity, their last breath.
No way,
Raze
no way.
Bull trying to pave the path, but AJG has to dive quickly. He does get there. Complexity is their last hope, their last try. They fought valiantly, but it's a pass to nobody. FaZe Clan own the pitch right now. 20 seconds left. Still nothing for Complexity.
You feel like they have to score on this drive, and it's typical. The 3rd, and what feels like final goal.
Typical versus typical. Threads the needle through the defense. With 17 seconds, 3 goals to go. You need more than a miracle if you're Complexity.
It was a defensive game from FaZe all series long, but they end, of course, with their strength. And it's on the other side, getting offensive.
FaZe Clan break the curse. No longer 4th clan. On to the grand finals!
They've set their sights for the finals, and they've certainly booked their ticket. They've earned it, and they worked hard. The entire split, everybody was talking about FaZe Clan. These guys are different. No longer will they remain 4th clan. No longer have they been cursed to top 4. And this is their chance. 1 more series to go, Jorby.
You always felt at the start of this that it just may have been FaZe versus K-Corp. But Tira versus First Killer, we're getting it. And oh my God, I can't wait. It's gonna be so good. What a series though.
What?
Complexity fought so well. That is exactly what you want out of a series like that. Both teams playing at their peak.
And they made FaZe uncomfortable. It is hard for a team to force FaZe Clan to be that passive and that defensive. Several chances out of Complexity that we can compliment on and feel like they earned their spot, and they certainly did work hard. This was an outrageous series, and I know it's only getting better, Jorby, but listen, our time is up. Let's go ahead and throw it to the desk and see what they had to say about that doozy of a series.
FaZe Clan make it to a grand finals. They will represent North America versus the Europe of Carmine Corps here. Folks, oh my goodness, we're not gonna talk to FaZe Clan just yet. We're gonna let them stay in the zone. They have another match to get ready for, CJ.